If you're over 60 and you keep waking up at night to use the bathroom, you probably think it's just your prostate or just aging. But here's the twist most men never hear. Those night trips don't only interrupt sleep. They can quietly drain the very systems that protect blood flow, energy, desire, and performance. And the more you push through it, the more your body learns a dangerous rhythm. Light sleep, high stress hormones, tired mornings, weaker recovery, and less steady confidence. Stay with me, because I'm going to show you the real reasons this happens, the one hidden cause doctors often miss, and a calm, safe way to reduce it without panic or embarrassment. Let's talk like adults, with dignity. Waking up once in the night can be normal. But if you're getting up 2, 3, even 4 times, it stops being just annoying. It becomes a nightly theft. And what it steals isn't only comfort. It steals deep sleep. It steals recovery. And after 60, recovery is not optional. It's the foundation of how your body handles blood flow, mood, hormones, and intimate response. Think about the pattern. You fall asleep, maybe for an hour or 2. Then your eyes open. You feel that familiar pressure. You get up, walk to the bathroom, come back, try to settle again. Maybe you check the clock. Maybe you check your phone. Your brain wakes up more than you realize. Then you drift back into a lighter sleep. And by morning, you technically slept, but you don't feel restored. You feel like your body ran a marathon while you were lying still. Have you ever noticed that the days after a broken night, how everything feels harder? Not just energy, but patience, confidence, and desire too. Here's where it gets interesting. Most men are told it's your prostate. And yes, prostate enlargement is common after 60, but the mistake is assuming the prostate is always the whole story. Night bathroom trips are a symptom, not a diagnosis. They're your dashboard light. The question is, what system is triggering that light in your body? Let me open a loop early, because it's important. There's one cause that can drive night urination and quietly damage vitality at the same time. And many men don't even realize they have it because it doesn't always feel dramatic. I'll reveal it in a few minutes. But first, we need to build the full picture, because for most men, it's a combination, not one single thing. Start with the simplest truth. Your body is supposed to concentrate urine at night. That's normal physiology. A hormone called ADH helps your kidneys hold on to water while you sleep, so you don't have to keep getting up. But after 60, that nighttime concentrating system can weaken for several reasons. Light sleep, stress hormones, certain medications, alcohol, blood sugar swings, and even breathing problems during sleep. When that system weakens, you produce more urine at night, and your bladder gets called into action over and over. Now, a quick pattern break. It's not always the bladder waking you up. Sometimes your sleep is already breaking, and then you notice the bladder. That difference matters, because it changes the solution. Let's walk through the most common drivers, in plain language, and the way a good doctor would explain it in the room. One common driver is timing of fluids. Many men do something completely understandable. They stay busy all day, drink too little, then finally sit down in the evening and catch up on water, tea, or something cold. The body loves hydration, yes, but late hydration often becomes late urination. Then you wake up, you're tired, and the next day you repeat the cycle. Have you ever realized you barely drink during the day, then suddenly drink most of it after dinner? Another driver is caffeine, especially later in the day. Caffeine isn't just energy. It's a stimulant that can irritate the bladder and push the kidneys to produce more urine. Even if you feel like you handle it well, the bladder may disagree, especially after 60. Then there's alcohol. Alcohol is tricky because it feels relaxing, but it blocks that nighttime hormone that helps you hold fluid, so you produce more urine. It also fragments deep sleep, so you get the double hit. More urine, lighter sleep. You fall asleep faster, but you don't recover properly. And a body that doesn't recover becomes a body with less stable blood flow, higher stress hormones, and more fatigue. That's not shame. That's physiology. Now let's talk about the prostate story, but in a way that actually helps. Prostate enlargement often causes incomplete emptying. So you go, but the bladder doesn't fully clear. Then it fills again sooner. Men describe it as, "I just went. Why do I feel like I have to go again?" That can be prostate-related. But even then, it's still not the whole story. Because the nervous system and sleep quality affect bladder sensitivity too. When sleep is light, the bladder feels louder. Here's a question that matters. When you wake at night, do you feel a strong, urgent need, or is it more like, well, I'm awake, so I might as well go? That answer gives clues. Now let's address another quiet factor: swelling in the legs. Many men over 60 carry fluid in the lower legs by evening, especially if they sit a lot. When you lie down at night, that fluid returns to circulation and your kidneys filter it. Result: more urine at night. Men blame the prostate, but the real driver might be fluid shift from the legs. This is where it flips for many men. Because if you reduce evening leg swelling, you often reduce night bathroom trips. Now, the deeper layer: blood sugar. When blood sugar runs high, especially if you have diabetes or even early insulin resistance, the body tries to flush excess sugar through urine. That increases urination, including at night. Some men don't realize their blood sugar is drifting up because they don't feel sick. They just feel more tired, more thirsty, more interrupted at night, and less steady in vitality. Have you noticed more thirst, more cravings, or more afternoon crashes along with those night trips? Now, let's reveal the open loop, the hidden cause many men miss. Sleep breathing problems, including obstructive sleep apnea, can trigger night urination. Yes, really. Here's how. When breathing is interrupted, oxygen drops and the body goes into a stress response. Stress hormones rise, the heart and vessels respond, and the body releases signals that increase urine production. Many men think sleep apnea only means loud snoring, but it can also show up as waking tired, morning headaches, dry mouth, mood changes, and, very commonly, night bathroom trips. So the twist is this: sometimes you're not waking because the bladder is full. You're waking because the body briefly struggled to breathe, and then you notice the bladder. That's why treating the prostate alone doesn't always fix it. Now, we need to talk about safety responsibly. If you have chest pain, severe shortness of breath, fainting, or sudden new symptoms, get urgent medical care. And if you take heart or blood pressure medications, or you have diabetes, talk to your clinician before major changes, especially changes to fluids, salt, exercise intensity, or supplements. Now let's get practical. What can you actually do, calmly, safely, starting tonight? First, change the rhythm of fluids instead of cutting fluids. Many men make the mistake of restricting water too much. Then they get dehydrated, which can worsen fatigue, worsen blood flow efficiency, and even irritate the bladder. The smarter approach is to front-load hydration earlier in the day, then taper gently after dinner. You're not trying to be dry, you're trying to be strategic. Second, watch the hidden diuretics. Tea, coffee, cola, some energy drinks, even certain herbal detox teas. These can push urine production. If you're waking multiple times, experiment with moving caffeine earlier and making the evening mostly caffeine-free. Not forever, just as a test for 2 weeks. Third, rethink late food. A heavy late dinner, especially refined carbs and sugary desserts, can raise blood sugar, increase thirst, and increase nighttime urination. It can also keep your nervous system more alert, which fragments sleep. Earlier, lighter dinners often make nights quieter. But there's a catch. If you go too light and wake hungry, that can also disturb sleep. So the goal is balanced. Enough protein and fiber to stay stable, not a sugar-heavy late meal that spikes and crashes. Now here's a pattern break that sounds almost too simple. Don't turn your night bathroom trip into a full wake-up event. No bright lights, no phone, no news, no checking messages. Keep it boring and dim. Because if you wake and then stimulate your brain, you don't just lose sleep. You train your nervous system to be more reactive at night. And reactive nights become reactive days. Have you ever noticed that one quick phone check turns into 20 minutes? Fourth, try a calm evening walk. 10 minutes is enough for many men. Not to burn calories, to help your body process fluid and blood sugar earlier, and to shift your nervous system into a calmer state. A calm walk also improves circulation, which supports vitality in multiple ways. Fifth, if you notice ankle swelling by evening, elevate your legs for a short period before bed. Even 15 to 20 minutes can help fluid shift earlier, so the kidneys do their job before you're asleep. This is one of those boring strategies that can be surprisingly powerful. Now, let's talk about what to avoid, without making you feel judged. Avoid drinking most of your liquids in the last 2 hours before sleep. Avoid alcohol as a nightly sleep tool. Avoid salty, heavy late-night snacks that drive thirst. Avoid intense workouts right before bed that keep stress hormones elevated. After 60, your body needs a smoother runway into deep sleep. Now here's where the doctor explains piece matters most. If you're waking to urinate multiple times, don't just assume it's normal. It's worth discussing. Because there are treatable contributors: prostate enlargement, urinary tract issues, medication timing, sleep apnea, blood sugar, even heart and kidney function. Most men wait too long because they feel embarrassed. But this is health, not shame. Let me ask you another question. If you had to rate your sleep quality from 1 to 10, what would it be? And if it's below a 6, do you really think your body can maintain strong recovery and stable vitality? Here's a mini scene many men recognize. You wake at 2:10 a.m., go to the bathroom, come back, and your mind starts listing problems. Bills, aches, regrets, tomorrow's tasks. That mental activation raises stress hormones. Stress tightens vessels. Tight vessels reduce responsiveness. So the next day, you're more tired, more wired, and less steady. This is why broken sleep can quietly show up as lower desire, lower confidence, and less predictable response. It's not that you lost something. It's that your system didn't recharge. Now, the deeper truth, the one that ties this whole topic together, is this. Night urination is often a symptom of a system that's not fully downshifting into repair mode. After 60, your nervous system and vascular system need calm, deep sleep to stay responsive. When sleep is fragmented, the body stays in a mild stress state, and in a stress state, the body prioritizes survival over pleasure. That's why men can feel fine during the day, but notice intimate confidence fading quietly over time. This is the part most men miss. You don't fix vitality only with effort. You fix it with recovery. Now here's a calm, practical, 2-week plan, woven into real life. For the next 14 days, keep evenings simple. Move caffeine earlier. Taper fluids after dinner instead of catching up late. Keep the last meal earlier and balanced. If you drink alcohol, reduce frequency and keep it earlier. Do a 10-minute calm walk. Keep nighttime bathroom trips dim and boring. And pay attention to one thing. Do you wake more refreshed, even slightly? Because if morning energy improves, you're already rebuilding the foundation that supports blood flow, mood, and performance. Now, if your night trips are frequent and intense, or you have pain, burning, fever, or blood in urine, don't wait. Get checked. Also, if you have swelling, shortness of breath with exertion, or you're suddenly waking far more than usual, that deserves medical attention. Sometimes nocturia can signal broader issues, and catching them early is the win. Let's also talk about medication timing, because it's common. Some blood pressure medications and diuretics taken later can increase night urination. This is not something to guess your way through, but it is worth asking your clinician. Is the timing of this medicine contributing? A simple adjustment can change nights dramatically. Now the twist and deeper truth. The most men never connect this moment. The very thing you think is a prostate issue might actually be a sleep and stress issue that's masquerading as a bladder issue. And when you treat it as a sleep and stress issue, calm evenings, better breathing, less stimulation, better hydration timing, your whole system becomes steadier, not just the bladder. If your partner says you snore or you wake with dry mouth or you're tired despite enough hours, consider screening for sleep apnea. Because treating sleep breathing isn't only about sleep. It can support blood pressure control, heart health, mood, and yes, intimate confidence. Now we close with something empowering, not salesy. If you're over 60 and you've been waking up at night, don't accept it as the new normal without checking the system. You deserve quiet nights. And you deserve real recovery. You deserve to feel steady, physically and emotionally. And remember this, those bathroom trips are not just an inconvenience. They're information. They're your body saying, my nighttime rhythm is off. When you restore that rhythm, many men notice improvements they didn't expect. Better energy, calmer mood, more stable desire, and more predictable performance. Start with tonight. Make the last 90 minutes calmer. Make fluids smarter, not smaller. Make the night boring and dark. Protect deep sleep like it matters, because after 60, it truly does.